Good morning, everybody. It's a new week at the Hyatt house and we are busy at work. So we have finally put a glass pane in every window. We've replaced every piece of glass that was broken, missing, or cracked. And now we're painting. We are doing a primer on these windows. We're taking them out, painting them, and then putting them back in, which is why you see some missing up there. We are also working on the back porch. Remember, we started building that last week. Today, we are gonna finish the steps. Then we're gonna start putting siding on the walls. And we are expecting a delivery of sheetrock later this week. So hopefully by the end of the week, you'll see some sheetrock going up. So let's go around to the back. The guys are working on the back porch. We'll see how it's going. So Monday morning, we are starting off where we left off on Friday, which is on this back porch. We finished the decking boards and all of that on the actual porch. Now we're working on this one step. I didn't want like an angled step. I wanted more like a platform. So we've got that happening here. It's a little bit high as it is, but we've got to push back some of this dirt. And then we're gonna do like a brick landing right here as part of our landscaping. So that's why the step is a little high now, but when we're done, it'll be just right. Our next step is to work on the ceiling in here. We're gonna do a beadboard ceiling to match the beadboard ceiling on the front porch. And then we're gonna start working on siding. This door was weird. This header went all the way up to the ceiling and it went all the way across on this side, but not on that side. So anyway, we trimmed that big white header board out completely so it's symmetrical. So we'll have little bits of siding that run up and then across above the door. And then of course, all this is gonna get siding next as well. So Monday morning, working on the back porch. So the decking on the back porch and the back step are done. And we've got our beadboard ceiling in place. We've got our corner boards here and here. And next we're getting ready to start on the siding. All of this is new construction except for the roof and the roof right here. And the guys were just pointing out. So this corner board goes up and meets the roof here. You can see that's about a little more than an inch. And then over here, it's about 3/8 of an inch. So yeah. So while everything else is nice and square and plumb, that roof line is not. But hey, nothing else is square or plumb in this house, so why should that roof be? All right, we are calling it a day, but here's that step. You see we backfilled a little bit to get it to a good height. We've got most of the siding over here, all the siding over there. So tomorrow we'll finish that top triangle and then these little pieces here. I've ordered the most adorable little lights to go there and there. They're very narrow and long. I love the beadboard ceiling. It just feels good in here. Seems like the perfect spot for some pumpkins and mums. Little covered back porch. All right, we have finished up here. Now you can see we're just barely getting started on either side of the door. It's gonna be lots of cuts, but then it's gonna look great. The back porch is finished. Now all we gotta do is finish caulking it, prime it, and paint it. Also point out that my groundskeeper is here today, taking care of the yard work. Hey everybody, so right now I'm in the wooden room. I just got back from Sherwin-Williams. It's a little early, but I am starting to think about paint colors. So I've got a bunch of chips that I went and picked up. I've got some wallpapers. I'm not gonna show you the wallpaper yet because I don't want to show it until I know I found the right one. But I'm just starting to think about color, and the only color that we are working with that's staying are these wooden walls. So I'm going to show you kind of what I'm thinking for paint. All right, so I'm just playing around with a little bit of color. I don't think we're going to stain this wood unless we have to. So I'm looking to see what I like. So originally I really liked that, but in this light it's really going blue. So I don't know. We're starting the process of picking paint colors. Here's another project we're working on this week in our mudroom. I think I told you we had to do a chase here. So this is our sewage. That's HVAC stuff. We've got a water line in there. It had to come somewhere, so it's coming up in the mudroom. The guys have framed this out. We have a little bit of old wood like this that we're gonna wrap it. So we're basically just creating a chase there so that all of that stuff can run upstairs and get to everything that it needs up there. So we'll wrap that in wood. Hopefully it'll look good. So you can see how this is coming together. We're actually using this old, it's a tongue and groove wood. It was the walls in the wallpaper room. We stripped all the wallpaper off, and we're repurposing it here to close in this chase. Once we sand and scrape all this old wood, paint it all, you'll never really notice that it's a different width. Not that any of these are the same width here. Anyway. Okay. We've made it about 5 feet, but we ran out of those. But that's okay, we have more. This is what they look like before. Remember I told you they came out of the wallpaper room? So we just got to get the wallpaper off of these, and we'll have enough to finish our chase. Well, this is an exciting but slightly frustrating day because the sheetrock has arrived. Now we're trying to figure out where to store it until my guy to help me move it into the house. So got that sheetrock. We've got a pallet of stuff, and then all that sheetrock is mine too. And we're just gonna have to put it on the sidewalk and the street until the crew gets here, and then we gotta move it all in the house. Let the fun begin. All right, so we've already made a decent amount of progress. We've got to get all this sheetrock in the house. Some's got to stay on the ground floor, but a lot of it's got to go to the second and the third. So we're going to figure out the easiest path to get it where it needs to go. So now we are figuring out the easiest way. Nothing's easy, but the easiest way to get all of that sheetrock to the second and third floor. So we're gonna try to take it up a ladder and through a window to get to the second floor, because you know those stairs are small with lots of turns. We don't want to take any more sheetrock up those stairs than we have to. If you guys remember, we had this old beam and these there were pretty arches right there in the kitchen. We had to add that LVL, which is so not pretty. Our plan is to take the old floor joists that we took out of the kitchen and wrap this LVL, but we've got to build it out. So we're gonna come down here and build it to the thickness of that beam and to the depth of the LVL. So that's what we're working on this morning. Okay, we've got this ready to go. We ran we ripped down, actually, it's a little bit bigger than a 2x4, along the bottom, and we put lots of blocking in. So The next step is to hang our sheetrock. Once the sheetrock is hung, then we're gonna wrap that with our old wood. So stay tuned for that process. We've gotta maybe recruit some help with a bigger saw that can rip those old floor joists down. But that's ready to be wrapped. Okay, that's a wrap on another busy week at the Hyatt house. Glad to have all that installation done. We are poised to start on Monday installing all of that sheetrock that we brought into the house. We got our back porch finished and did a few other little projects that had to be done. But like I said, next week is all about sheetrock. So it may be kind of a boring video, but it's gonna be like a momentous occasion because that sheetrock is really gonna feel like we have turned the corner. So come back next week and see what else is happening at the Hyatt house.